fucking idiot. This needs to stop. Now.
So I'm going to say right off the bat, I have not read the books yet, but I've been told about what's in them and about how bad they are when it comes to Onision's books. But, oh lord.
Hey guys, JJ here. This is a controversial book, I guess. When I wrote it, I didn't think of it as being controversial at all, but apparently it's super controversial, as I learned.
Well, more than likely because you don't have the cognitive thought to really consider the fact that some of the stuff you do is controversial.
You know, you have stuff, you think it's fine, then you post it to the internet, and the internet
Attacks you.
it rips you apart and makes you think that you're worthless, like you have no talent at all. Why do I even bother waking up in the morning, you ask yourself.
Hey, don't trump me into your bullshit. I enjoy my life. I mean, sure, when it comes to some of my content that, doesn't get a lot of views, I do it because I enjoy it, because it's fun. Heck, by the end of the video, I'm going to promote my Let's Play of Breath of the Wild, because I enjoyed that game, and I want to share my experiences of that game. But you, on the other hand, you get the tiniest bit of criticism, and your entire world crumbles. And time again, you display behavior that is practically self-destructive.
Anyway, Reaper's Creek, Onision. You can get it on Amazon or on Onision.org. And the Onision.org version is signed. That's cool, right?
I'm sorry, I have to continue with my, what I was saying with my last video. When it comes to his fans, that I can't tell whether they are gullible or just stupid for buying his crap. This crap from a talentless hack, I should point out. By the way, your signature on the book doesn't make it any better. You sprinkle sugar on a piece of shit, it's still a piece of shit.
Anyway, let's go to the extremely controversial chapter. I'm going to read it to y'all. It's called Julia's Glow. It was summer. I was with my dad in Ohio. We had just arrived at a cabin in the woods by a lake. There was a girl there. Her name was Julia. She had long, curly brown hair. She had a smile that lit up the room and a look in her eye that felt like a beam of energy shooting through me whenever we made eye contact.
I just want to point out, too, with his original video he has, and when he's describing Julia, or moments with Julia, he has video clips of women, like different women, and I'm on the fence when it comes to some of these clips, because I kind of feel like, especially since you don't see their faces, I'm kind of wondering if those are video clips of young teenagers.
Again, this is me talking about a girl I actually knew when I was 11 years old. She was 4 years older than me, and she really did have this look in her eyes that just shot right through me. She had the curly hair. I go on to talk about how I'm 5'10", despite me being so young. She was about 5'1", despite being 4 years older than me. We were listening to Sugar Ray on the radio, standing out on the beautiful deck, looking into the woods.
How much you want to bet for him describing, or at least reading for this particular book, he picked the parts that didn't make him sound like an illiterate fuck?
So clearly, it was a fine time. Sorry, I gotta go outside. It's getting noisy around here.
All right, so things are hopefully going to be less noisy. Let's go ahead and finish this steamy chapter. Julia's Glow, here we are again.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay? No more. Where the fuck are your parents? Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop.
Julia was staring at me from her sleeping bag most of the time the lights remained on in the cabin. She was smiling every time I looked at her, and I would smile back upon seeing this. There was a pillow between her sleeping bag and mine. She put her hand under the pillow in a way that only made sense if she were reaching out to me. So I reached out my hand and held hers. No one else in the room had any idea. After a short while, the lights went out, and that's when Julie began moving toward me, slipping her body inside my sleeping bag. She immediately began kissing me, and I kissed her back just as aggressively. I had never kissed a girl before this moment, but it seemed like I was doing everything right. With one hand, I unbuttoned her shorts, and I slipped my other hand in her underwear. This again was the first time I'd ever touched someone like this.
Dude, I'm just gonna say this right here. You continue reading this, you're digging your hole a lot deeper. We'll explain that in a second.
Julie, now on top of me, began breathing heavily as my fingers moved in and out of her. She continued to kiss me and began to grind on me as well. Now I just want to establish, these things all really happened to me when I was 11 years old.
What the fuck?
So, if you're mad about it, you're really just mad at me for being with someone 4 years older than me when I was 11, which...
Wait. So, you were 11, and this girl was supposedly 15, because you said 4 years older. You know what, honestly, I wouldn't know who to blame more in this situation. Let's say if this was real, okay? The 11-year-old boy who more likely wasn't taught anything by his mother about, not touching girls when they're, still teenagers. Or the, again, if this was real, teenager who decided to take advantage of a 11-year-old. But on the other hand, I'm also banking on the fact that this is all, bullshit. And it's very creepy that he is trying to justify his creepy, oh so creepy books.
Why are you mad at an 11-year-old? I was glowing, and not to my knowledge at the time, it wasn't even over. The next morning, Julie and I were the first two people to wake up in the house. I found her sitting on the couch downstairs, and realizing we were still alone, we again threw ourselves at each other in exactly the same way we had last night.
What? What the fuck?
Only now, on the couch in the cabin front room. The fabric of the couch had a purple base color and a design paying tribute to the natives of America. I ran my hand up and down her legs, which, by the way, her legs weren't very well shaven. She had decently, a good amount of hair on her legs. I remember the pricklies as I ran my hand up her leg when I was 11, so cool. A little behind-the-scenes action for you.
You do realize that nobody really gives a shit about how, quote-unquote, prickly or the texture of her legs are? Only the fact that this is very, very creepy sounding.
Pulled her body as close to me as I could. I tried to make her feel as loved and as blissful as I knew how. She seemed so happy. And then my dad walked in the room, which really happened, so we popped up like nothing happened. But yeah, you guys, now you know the awful truth that when I write about these scenes that are controversial, a lot of times the scenes actually happen to me in real life.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
Now, if you want to see something super messed up, go check out Stephen King's It, because apparently he wrote about a G-A-N-G-B-A-N-G between a bunch of teenagers. I think if you're going to be mad at someone, Stephen King might be the guy.
Oh, so are we really playing this game? Are you really playing this game once again? Somebody else did it, so I'm justified to do it? Two wrongs don't make a right, dipshit. Sometimes you just have to be better than the other people. And if I remember correctly, there was some controversy when it comes to those moments when it comes to his books.
But Stephen King isn't a popular target. I like Stephen King, I really do. But, that's messed up that he wrote about that. That's all I'm saying. Unless, of course, he actually went through the G-A-N-G-B-A-N-G with the teenagers himself, in which case it might even be worse. So, I don't know what to do with that. And then you might want to hit up the author of Twilight. She apparently wrote about a bunch of stuff between the 100-and-something-year-old guy and the 17-year-old or something. No, we don't care about that. Anyway, Reaper's Creek. It covers a lot of stuff that actually happened in my actual life. And before you assume something crazy, maybe ask, do a little fact-based research. It'll make you seem a lot more credible.
Onision, when it comes to a lot of the shit that we have, we can't take your word for granted. Because you have constantly lied. You've constantly took things out of context. You've constantly tried to drag people's names in the dirt. with false information. You are the last person, because I'm assuming when you talk about fact checking, you want us to talk to you, which we're not going to, because we can't take your word for granted. We can't believe you at this point. And the sad part is every time we do bring information, bring evidence to you, you try to debunk it. You flat out say, oh no, that didn't happen that way. And then you try to justify all your actions. Instead of taking responsibility, you blame other people for shit you've done. And unfortunately for you, you have, I'm going to say, instead of saying 11 to 12, I'm just going to say 12 years of shit that you've done that's backlogged on the internet. So, all of that is very showing of what kind of person you are. Now, when it comes to the legitimacy of this book, do I think it's real? No. But I will say, and I will say this because I will say, I'm not a doctor, okay? I'm not a medic, but he likes to talk about sex a lot when it comes to his videos, his books, about people's attractive bodies. He is fucking obsessed with it. And it makes you kind of wonder. And no offense, but from listening to some of the other stories from other people, this whole thing where the girl apparently got on him, if this was, let's say if this whole situation was real, and I'm not saying that it's a legit thing, but think about it. How much you want to bet that it was actually him that took advantage? Anyway, what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. For those who are interested in watching my Legend of Zelda Let's Plays, they will be a spot to click on by the end of the video. So go check that out. I have a lot of fun with Legend of Zelda. And with that being said, this is Rob of Novakast signing off. Have a good one, and take care.